In this Cardano update, we're looking at life after the Vassal hard fork. It was successful and a great achievement. Now we build products and services that bring people into the system and create value. So I'll leave the timestamps for each of these sections down in the description below. Firstly, then, a very crude metric of success on any blockchain is TVL. It can be gamed, it can be rigged, but in general, if you are comparing like for like, you can have a look. Now, 80 million on Cardano is not a lot compared to something like Ethereum, which is obviously the leader at around 31 billion. But we're in a bear market right now, and you can see TVL is stagnating across the board. Nothing's going to really change this until the macro situation is out of the way, which, you know, is out of the control of any specific developer or chain. But the big thing right here is actually you can see the number one protocol on Ethereum is MakerDAO, which is a decentralized stablecoin. You also have staking derivatives players, you have exchanges, and you have lending protocols. These are all coming and being launched on Cardano right now. One of these actually is, as you can see, ADA Finance, which is actually the 1 month change of its TVL is insane. This is obviously from 0 upwards to a very small amount, just 435k. But we are in the very early stages. The Vassal hard fork has just happened. We've got Liquid Finance and Meld and others to launch their products. And so what we're looking for now is the build out of DeFi on Cardano. Next though, Charles Hoskinson has given an interview on what he thinks might spark the next bull run, considering we are definitely in a bear market now. But what is the next stage of the cycle? We'll get onto that. Firstly though, if you are part of the crypto investor course, I know a lot of you guys are, an update is coming this week. A bunch of videos are being launched on there. They are obviously exclusive for course members and free for existing course members as well. If you haven't checked it out yet, 200 plus videos on crypto, trading, investing, everything like that. I'll leave that linked in the description if you want to check that out. But you know, Cardano needs something, a catalyst, obviously, to spark it into the next bull run, just like every other project. What is that thing? Well, according to Charles, he thinks potentially we're looking at regulation that may spark the next bull run rather than trying to stop the industry. Here's how he explains that. Charles Hoskinson names catalysts that he believes could end crypto downturn and trigger mega bull market. Now, this is a headline, so don't read too much into that. But what we can see here from what Charles said is he thinks that if the US government were to pass the Financial Innovation Act, the crypto markets would begin a mega bull run. Let's not get too carried away with mega bull run, considering the macro situation is really difficult right now. But what is his thoughts on this? Well, he said, I've been through 7 bull bear markets since I joined the crypto space, and this is no different. It could last 18 months, it could last 2 years, it could end at the end of this year. Who actually knows? That is true. Right now, all crypto prices, including Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardano as well, are just reacting to a macro situation which is far bigger than any of these crypto projects right now and kind of ecosystems. The Financial Innovation Act, which was proposed by Senator Cynthia Lummis and Christian Gillibrand of New York, aims to create a comprehensive regulatory framework for the digital assets industry. This is something that definitely can spark life into crypto. The US regulating cryptocurrency and giving people rules of the road means that institutions and larger players can make asset allocation decisions, which they can't right now for the most part. He also says, though, the flip side of regulation is if people like Gary Gensler are empowered, the SEC chair, we can see a mega bear market happen as a massive amount of litigation occurs and all of these poor entrepreneurs just basically get put out of business. Now, moving on from that, one area that may be regulated out of existence is this. Draft US stablecoin bill would ban new algo stablecoins for 2 years. We'll get on to what algo stablecoins are and why they might be banned. The bill would actually criminalize the creation of these new stablecoins, and the current draft includes a grace period of 2 years for existing algorithmic stablecoin providers to change their models. So if this goes through, this is actually a shot across the bow where not only do they criminalize and stop the creation of new algo stables, but they actually want all existing algo stables essentially to either change or just be removed from the market. It's actually really big. The definition would reportedly cover stablecoins that depend on the value of another virtual asset from the same creator to maintain its price, as is marketed as having the ability to be converted, repurchased, or otherwise redeemed for a fixed price. That essentially means that you have a stablecoin that says it's stable as a dollar and it's backed by crypto collateral, essentially like Luna was, saying we've got this other thing here that is a risk asset and it's backing the stable coin, which is obviously a big issue. Why is that related to Cardano? Well, Djed is launching right now on Cardano, and they even on their own website call Djed a crypto-backed algorithmic stablecoin. Now, the way that Djed works is nothing like the way that Luna was set up. Djed is actually very simple. It just is backed by Cardano ADA in an over-collateralized way. So as you can see here, 400%. So for every $1 of Djed, there are $4 of ADA at least backing that up. And you can't mint any more Djed if that ratio goes below that threshold. So for this, it is much different than something like Luna, but it is an algorithmic stablecoin backed by risky assets. And so you have to assume that if that bill goes through, then Djed won't be making its way to the States. Now, I've consistently said that Djed will be an extremely niche use case and a very niche type of asset that people will hold. Most people won't hold an asset like this. MakerDAI is also very small in terms of its size, and that's the biggest one. But what other methods are we looking at to bring stablecoins on Cardano? Because without stablecoins, no one will be incentivized to bring any amount of capital onto the system. So we need stablecoins. Well, Meld is working on something that they call Akamon. And if you read through this article, there's a lot of fluff here. But essentially, if we cut through that, what they're trying to do is wrap some stablecoins from Polygon onto Cardano. There are some big issues with this. Firstly is that Polygon is wrapping coins from Ethereum. So you have a wrapped version on Polygon, and Polygon proof of stake chain is a centralized entity with 100 validators. Okay, so you have a centralized network there, which also has its own trust assumptions. Then what you're doing is actually taking a wrapped version on Polygon and wrapping it again to bring it over to Cardano. So you're introducing another centralized party there who's wrapping the coin and bringing it onto Cardano. So there's many issues here with wrapping coins. I really don't recommend using wrapped coins, especially on new systems, because we've seen before bridges get hacked and all your money's gone instantly. So I don't recommend using any wrapped coins unless they've been trust-based for a very long time and they've worked. So this is one method. Another method though is something called iAssets that Indigo is working on. Again, this is a way just to bring a dollar stablecoin onto Cardano that people can trade against, because this is what most people want to trade against. What are Indigo doing? Well, iAssets is something that they actually bring. It's not just stablecoins, other assets as well. But as you can see here, Indigo protocol is going to be a protocol that allows people to collateralize different assets and turn them into something else. iAssets are individually over collateralized. This ensures that no matter the market conditions, the iAsset is backed up by collateral that's worth more than the iAsset itself. For example, 100 IUSD can be backed up to $200 worth of ADA. Not knowing the specific aspects of how they want to do this, this may be a little bit like a stablecoin that's being released by Aave, the Aave protocol on Ethereum, which is known as GHO or Go GHO. It's a stablecoin that uses all of the assets on their system. So Aave is a lending and borrowing protocol. There are, billions of dollars worth of crypto assets on that platform sitting there, mostly idle. Aave thinks they can use those assets as value to collateralize a stablecoin. Again, these are all small and niche uses for stablecoins. I believe that Cardano absolutely must have native stablecoins from US dollar Tether and US dollar coin on its system. That is something that Cardano must work on immediately so that people can be trustworthy here. They can get their money onto Cardano, start using DeFi, start lending it out. They want trust. Wrapped coins and these multi-asset collateralized stablecoins, they're not what most people want to use. And so Cardano definitely needs to get stables natively issued on its ledger as soon as possible. So for all of the projects that do want to launch on Cardano, like Meld and Liquid Finance and Maladex, they all rely on trustworthy stablecoins on the Cardano blockchain, and they're not here yet. And so there's a big a hurdle that has to be overcome, and the macro situation is out of all of our hands, and so that has to change as well. If you do want to look into the crypto investor course, those updates are coming for course members this week, so watch out for those. We have a DeFi section in here if you want to learn more about that, other sections as well, so I'll leave that linked in the description if that's of interest. I'm James with Money Djed. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.